Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and we heard about this happening, and it's officially happened, that Aragorn in Lord of the Rings has now officially been recast. That's right, they said Viggo Mortensen wasn't going to return, that they were going to recast him, and they've officially done it. And who they've done it with, you're kind of raising eyebrows and going, really? And then, when they give you the cast announcement, you're like, this still makes no sense then as to why you would recast Aragorn. But we're going to have a look at the article, because the person who's replaced him is Jamie Dornan of 50 Shades of Grey. So are we looking at now Middle-earth being 50 Shades of Sauron? Like, what is going on? We also get actually a bit more detail as to exactly what this movie is, which is really weird when we hear that as well. But let's have a look. So director and Gollum actor Andy Serkis still has plans to take audiences back to Middle-earth. His upcoming film, Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum, will bring back some of the original cast from Peter Jackson's iconic trilogy. Viggo Mortensen will not be going on this journey, however, as the role of Aragorn has officially been recast. The film will be something of a prequel/parallel story to the events of the Fellowship of the Ring. So that's the first time we've heard that. Now, we knew it was meant to be the prequel, but now it's seemingly a prequel with parts of the story also being at the same time as Fellowship of the Ring, which is starting to make me wonder, like, are we getting more of a flashback story? Like, are we going to be seeing moments from Fellowship or something, but then it's flashbacks? I don't know what way it's structured, but it's weird. So it says, notably, Mortensen was around 40 years old when the first film in the trilogy was shot. Now 67, even Hollywood's impressive de-aging technology may not have been able to facilitate a satisfying performance. That statement is strange, to say the de-aging couldn't facilitate a performance. It's like, what? What's that supposed to mean? So instead, Aragorn, called by his Dundanan monarch Strider in a new promotional material, will be played by Jamie Dornan. As part of Warner Brothers' presentation at CinemaCon, Serkis released a statement about Hunt for Gollum. So he said this: across two trilogies, a mark of a Middle-earth film has always been a formidable array of talent brought to bear in every role. The Hunt for Gollum continues in that tradition, and I am delighted to announce the return of two of Middle-earth's most beloved performers, alongside some exceptionally talented new additions to Tolkien's world. The two returning actors he refers to are Ian McKellen as Gandalf and Elijah Wood as Frodo. Alongside his directing duties, Serkis will also reprise his dual role as Gollum and Sméagol. It remains unclear whether the film will show him before the ring fully corrupts his appearance. Well, if he's playing Sméagol, you would assume that would be the case. Obviously, the two sides of the mind with Gollum is Sméagol, but if you're saying Sméagol more so, you would assume there'd be clips of him. Now, here's the issue. You're saying, Viggo Mortensen has aged out of being able to play the role, even though we could de-age him. But it's okay, because we're still going to bring back 80-something-year-old Ian McKellen, who Ian McKellen was in his 60s when he first played Gandalf. Viggo Mortensen is basically now the age that Ian McKellen was when they did the first movie. But you're bringing Ian McKellen back. But then, more importantly, you're bringing Elijah Wood back. It's not exactly like he's as young as he was when he played Frodo. So it's this thing of, how are you trying to say this one guy over here has aged out of the role, even though we've technology that we can de-age him, but we're bringing back these two who have aged just as much, if not more, and we don't see an issue with that? I don't get that. I cannot wrap my head around that. Now, it says here, Mortensen has not publicly addressed whether he was invited to reprise the role. In 2024, he told GQ that he enjoyed playing Aragorn. However, When asked if he hoped to return for Hunt of Gollum, he said, "I would only do it if I was right for it, in terms of, the age I am now and so forth. I would only do it if I was right for the character. It would be silly to do it otherwise." With that in mind, fans speculated that Viggo Mortensen would not return and that Aragorn would be recast. That's bullshit right there. No fan started to go, "Oh, he's not going to come back and they're just going to recast him." They may have said, "Is Aragorn going to be in here?" Maybe not. Maybe he will. Even though he is a major part of that actual paragraph that talks about the hunt for Gollum. It's basically him and Gandalf's story. And the fact that no fan was saying, "Oh, they're just going to recast him." It's like so stupid to do it. Again, when you're bringing back two other people who have also aged, you can't turn around and say, "Well, he's aged out of the role." But what about them guys then? Like, you're putting Gandalf the Grey in this movie, not Gandalf the White. So he has to be as young as he was then. Look, he was in his 60s then, as I said, but Ian McKellen has clearly aged a lot since Lord of the Rings up to now. His voice has changed a bit. He's a hell of a lot older looking. They can't argue about that. You can't go, "Oh, but he's going to be behind a big beard, so that'll hide it." So you're still going to be able to tell, especially with the voice. So this whole thing of, "Oh, he aged out of the role," is stupid. It almost seems like Andy Serkis just didn't want to move forward with bringing back Viggo Mortensen for some reason. Maybe it's they were looking at and going, "We can't afford to bring him back." I don't know what this is, but when you think of all the technology that there is there now to bring him back, like, for God's sake, they've literally just brought Val Kilmer back, a fully AI version of Val Kilmer for a movie, which I absolutely don't agree with. I don't even care if the family gave their blessing for that one. I think, the guy literally only died last year. Like, why would you do that? But if you're bringing him back fully for a full role as an AI character, and you're telling us Viggo Mortensen has aged out of a performance, that's insane to me. That is absolutely insane. So, a week before CinemaCon, Serkis confirmed that the role of Aragorn would be recast. However, he declined to offer any hints about who he had in mind. So, like, they were talking about, "Oh yeah, we're going to recast, we just don't know who." So the casting process may have been further along than he implied. Jamie Dornan, best known for his leading role in the 50 Shades of Grey films, is only a year or two older than Mortensen was when he first played Aragorn. Other new additions to the Hunt for Gollum cast include Leo Woodall as Halvard, another member of the Dundarian, and I think I'm mispronouncing that as well, and Kate Winslet as Marigold, a new character. Lee Pace will reprise his role from the Hobbit films as the elf Trendil. So you're even bringing people back from the Hobbit movies, but you're saying this is out of the, you can't bring back Viggo Mortensen. I don't know, man. I don't think people are going to be happy about this. I don't think many people at this stage even want the Hunt for Gollum, especially when they're already talking about trying to make it into a trilogy. It's like, it was one paragraph in the book, and you're going to try and build that into a trilogy. That's a stupid idea, but I think this first movie will come out. Will it do well? I think it'll do okay. I don't quite know how well it will do. I think it'll have a big opening, but then I think it might crater. It's just, what does it bring in compared to its budget and stuff like that? Would it warrant to continue more of them? I just don't know. It's such a hard one to put your finger on, because it's like, people are excited for more Lord of the Rings, but at the same time, the appetite for Lord of the Rings is being dampened, of course, by Rings of Power. But then you say it's going to be the Hunt for Gollum, and we're going to bring back some of the cast, but we're going to recast the other part. It's like, I don't know. I cannot gauge this one at all right now, but What do you guys think about the recasting of Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen being replaced by Jamie Dornan, 50 Shades of Sauron? Let us know in the comments. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.